Forsaken, abandoned to the dark, what choice but to follow the flame? To seize the world with this fire is to see it burn first.
Welcome on back everyone to Total Warhammer 3 and part 6 of our Astragoth Ironhand Immortal Empires campaign. In today's episode we're here a turn later for a boon of Hashut has appeared. Our actions have not gone unnoticed by our Dark Master, for he has offers his Twisted Blessing. Empowered by mighty Hashut, your position among the Dawizar has never been stronger. Demand whatever you want from the Conclave of Evil, and none will dare question your will. They're called just the Conclave of Evil? I mean, you might as well. We're going to go ahead and choose Influence, because that actually might get us up to the tier we need to gain our first tier 2 Conclave seat. Wagon engineering's done. You can't just build it bigger, you wazzock. Such immense loads required an entirely different chassis altogether. Entirely different chassis altogether. We need it. Well, I guess this one will give us more raw materials when we do have ourselves some obsidian and marble outposts. For now, we don't, so we do need to keep an eye out for that. We'll give those in with the mines instead of the factories. Now we're on to those extended shifts to give us more raw materials and income from scavenger buildings, of which we have quite a few. Astragoth is still posting up here outside of Frag and doing his recruiting thing. If Grimgor wants to come over and fight, I am happy to engage. We've got one turn before our magma cannons come on in, and then one more turn after that. The Bull Centaur Renders will have all three of them available in on this army. We actually have added, or at least I have added a few names on in. So we've got Wings here for our Red Bull. We've got Astragoth's Rough Riders for the Bull Centaur Renders with dual weapons. The Labor Recruitment Bulls for our Shield and Axe variant. We've got Uzkulak's Welcome Party, the Hashut's Greetings, a couple of Laborers because they don't have names just yet. We've got the Axes of Uzkulak, the Infernal Ankle Biters, and the Spiteful Shields. Some pretty fantastic names. Let me know if you have any other names you'd like to add on in for Hobgoblins, or any other units or lords or heroes that you might have. I will go ahead and get right to it. So for this turn, take a quick gander over to see exactly what we can build on up. I do like the tower roads here for the additional control. More control means less labor will be slipping and falling into lava accidentally, of course. We could go for the incinerator. Oh, that's perfect for when you have kind of a factory province. It drops how much raw materials you're actually consuming in whatever you're making there. I think that's pretty cool. Then eventually we get a Temple of Hashut for extra Conclave influence per turn, Winds of Magic, diplomatic relations with Chaos Dwarves, and recruiting from Bull Centaurs. I think that's all pretty good stuff. We were going to put in the artillery here, correct? We do have the artillery here at Frag now, so we could up at Saber Mountain instead go for our military building that has to do more for basics. So we get the Chaos Dwarf Great Weapons, the Blunderbusses, Infernal Castellans up to the proper Infernal Ironsworn, which are more for Astragoth. So what I'm going to do is I'm kind of avoiding recruiting the Infernal Ironsworn. I know that Draswith, that is. I know that Astragoth would have a few Infernal Guard at his disposal, but the majority of them are going to be down with Drashoeth in the Black Fortress. Let's go ahead and we will pop in the Ash level here. I am going to also throw in the Tribute Shrine for the raw materials. Just a bit more gold. We've got some rebellion armies getting up over here. A lot of Savage Orc War Boys, but they shouldn't come over after us and Astragoth. We'll also have you set up as an ambushing force. Oh, come on, Bruce. There you go. Defend your king. As far as everything else goes this turn, we'll pull up our labor economy here. We could sacrifice a little bit here at Zorn Uzkul. Make sure we don't need any more of it. We would be losing 41. Dropping 200 takes us down to 600. Since we're sitting up for a few turns, let's go ahead and not send our labor over. We do have... Oh no, the tier 2 tower actually costs 150. Ah, well, we're nearly there. Hopefully someone goes ahead and grab this one. That way we have the... This is a lovely ability, just no one wants to pick up this last Warmonger spot. Even though this is a fantastic ability, it's not as good for the Chaos Dwarves unless we're moving in to try to sack things and run away, which I guess for that it'd be great. No, we're gonna go ahead and keep saving. That way if someone decides to snake one of our seats, we can quickly take it back too. Play a little bit of defense. Skip on through, and actually before I do, Challenge Stone can get in the control routes for more control, which I think is a good call. Now back down. Will you answer, creature of the Tornado Beard? He just wants military access, and I think that we can handle. I'm curious to see exactly where Clan Krizzar is hiding. Oh, he's willing to grab a non-aggression pack too? Sold. For a lot more money. You appease Zatan. You appease Astragoth. Alright, convoy encounter the Beastmaster. Nifty great. So a cacophony of roars and feral shriek. Oh, this is the same kind of thing we had previously, so we can go ahead and sacrifice some of our cargo for a Charybdis, which I think a Charybdis plus a Kadai is fairly terrifying. Yes, thank you kindly, Dark Elves. And the other thing you'll notice we have a little bit changed here is this is now Grok Backbreaker. Oh, good for you, Bruce. And this is Kolg the Wagyu Axe. Yes, proper. And you will. These are all going to be kind of bulk recorded before Update 5.2 comes out, which is actually quite a substantial patch, all things considered. As soon as Update 5.2 does come out, I think we are going to have a little bit of downtime for a couple of our modded campaigns. Hopefully it's not too long, but we'll see. I just wanted you all to be aware. Grimgorge is building up a force of mostly trolls and goblins, which is just beautiful to see. That's very low leadership. And our magma cannons are in, which means death to all. Perfect. So in the meantime, we'll just get him a few more laborers to fill in the gaps. Bruce is all set. I guess we don't want all laborers because I do have one of those bull centaurs coming on over, so the backbreaker is going to join on up with Astragoth. Give ourselves a nice bodyguard duo to start here. Krug Vrag can probably definitely go for the Thane Guard House. What does that really increase? 2 warriors, 2 hobgoblins. This will give us an additional bull centaur render with dual axes. That's a pretty big increase. Granted, you're getting them for how much? For 2610. Yoy. That's a lot of money. What about... Instead we grab the money pit here. We just don't have the labor for the strip mine yet, so... We'll go for just the good old money pit. And that's back up at Gorge Rock. No one should be threatening the challenge stone, at least yet. Go for the treasure trove here for 250 gold. Everything else we've got right now is going to be upgraded with raw materials. Which Tower Roads at Uzkalak is probably a pretty dang good idea. We would need to be saving 2,900 for the gun turrets, and back at Uzkalak if we were to... Say for the tower, it'd be 3825. Which in 5 turns we could probably build up. Oh yeah, we absolutely could. Before we do, I do want to build up the Tower Road, so now it's going to take, well, it's going to easily take, it's probably at 3 turns. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and grab that in there. Frag, I do want the Thane Guard House. Doubles the income. Okay, what are the defenders looking like right now? It's a bunch of hobgoblins with a couple of chaos dwarfs and 1 blunderbuss. They want to make sure you don't have too many of those. They're dangerous. Yeah, let's go ahead and be a little bit greedy and go for the upgrade at Gorge Rock. Eagle Aries upgrade is a little bit sketchy right now. Even though Gorth is here, he will not move to help us. So we're on our own in that front. We do now have tier 2. Oh, they were saving for that too. Smartly played there, Drowsoeth. Which one did he claim? 1 missile or melee infantry. Well, good on ya. Dreadquake when in own territory. Wrath of Czar all the time. We don't actually have very many factories yet. We will later on. Blood and Fireborn lets us summon the Kadai. And Flame and Shadow is the bombardment for all of our lords. Oh, these are all so good. Summoning the Kadai every single battle as an army ability, I think, is just way too useful. We'll try to grab the Grand Reaper as a secondary. Yoink. This one belongs to the Burning Skulls. Skill points to pass out an Astragoth squad. Kevin gains himself some more points. Oh, just 5% ward save? Sold. Living Metal Flesh. That's from eating his own kind. I think they are specifically called out as being cannibals, the Bull Centaurs. Alright, so Bib and Bruce back into guard mode there. Let's see if we can't, or not guard, but ambush, see if we can't draw them in. Now we've got artillery. But it's time to roll on in, do some damage. We'll keep increasing how many of these guys we can get to. This is the Vanguard and Devastating Flanker. How much are those going to cost to maintain? Right now we're maintaining... we up to a 36 per turn. Okay. So if anything, we add Murderous Charge on. We can't handle 36 times 2, though. That's going to knock us out, I think. We're currently producing... 74 is what it's showing here, and we're using in Hellforge Upkeep 20. We're dropping 24 off. So 74 with 36 minus 2, so it'll be 72 total, is how much it would... Wait, we could afford it, we would just be then generating almost nothing in terms of armaments. But man, it would make them scary. Oh, Devastating Flanker costs 14. Ooh, I don't know if we could afford it. We'll come on back. We have artillery to worry about too. Alright, so we'll zoom on in. Our lords haven't been moved. They're playing ambush for Muzzrub and Grimgore. Getting separated right now is dangerous. These are cold mountains. Yes, I want those souls hammered into my machines. Together we will make it happen. Alright, so he wants to sign a pact in the blood of innocence. See, here's the problem. I would like to stab you in the back eventually. Gorfang is doing very well for himself. He sent a secondary, or the 2 wall armies. He sent one of them in. I think they got wiped out, though. They ran into the Dalby wall. I don't want to get too tied into deals with you, Olaf, so sorry. Trade is all you get for now. We get ourselves a new guide, so nothing positive encounters here, so we can pay and follow the guide to reduce our journey time, or follow our own path to maybe have a few more encounters. Nay. You're going to ignore the guide. An Infernal Musician. Grimgore's Wall succeeds. Who were they going after? Interesting. Maybe that was their initial wall against, yeah, it probably was, against, Greasus. Alright, well, he's likely coming after us now. So he's got 3 Goblin Rock Labas, Stone Trolls, and some Archers. I don't mind this army at all. This is more like fighting, Skarsnik. A Dwemer Leech Orb. Dwemer, huh? We reached into some good old Skyrim. This orb increases the winds of magic reserves available to the Soul Sword, enabling him to heal himself with power drawn from enemy magic users. Well, that's fantastic. Oh, you don't actually heal. It's a pretend heal. You just drain their winds of magic into yourself, which is pretty fantastic, honestly. Do you have any spellcasters? There's one here, Gorfang. Gorfang and Grimfang. There's several of them. Oh, good. He's just gonna keep sitting there staring at you there, Black Thing, until you move. Speaking of, we'll just move on through ourselves. Astragoth should be all done recruiting. What we will do is be aggressive and just go yoink right up front in their face. We can have a good old artillery battle in the underway. so let's have him post up right behind Astragoth, so hopefully he isn't able to be... Actually, they're more likely to intercept you. We're gonna walk up in normal stance, 'cause I don't trust it. We can maybe go for an ambush, that way they don't necessarily know he's there. That'd be cool. If it manages to play out in our favor. Alright, from here we could pop in the guard tower for more control. So you have to pick between control and safety. I think we'll just go for control. Ice Viewer is fairly safe at the moment. Unless we start seeing them launch greenskins through the mountain paths. Which, it's happened. Could happen here. Poor Faction. Who are you at war with right now? Still dashing out the Lamian Sisterhood and the Dead Flag Fleet all the way over in Cathay. I think that's where these guys are located. Dusty is strength rank 2 on the entire campaign map, doing very well for himself. Yeah, like I said, it wants 3,800. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade Dorshny for it, that way we can put in walls there, because I realize we're very close to an extremely powerful greenskin force here. Normally they get stamped out. But this time they're doing just fine. In fact, it's probably us that's meant to come on over and start clobbering them. I went through the mountains this time. Alright, Grimgore. Let's see what you got. On the other side of this little mountain pass here, I really want to see if we can block it so no one can come through. Get your big beefy self in between those slabs of rock there. We will in the turn. Staring Grimgore down once more. Oh, and he goes for it. Excellent strategy, Grimgore. Our magma cannons are going to feast. They do have less range overall than the Goblin Rock Labas, but we can use our big Red Bull here to be nice and obnoxious and get the Rock Labas' attention. They also have really bad accuracy, so we have a chance to waddle on up with our magma cannons and let loose with them before they close the gap. It's going to be a good deal of fun. Auto-resolve thinks we're going to drop kick them. I think we might as well. If they close the gap, we are going to take some losses, but let's see if we can keep them doing that. To the field. Alright, let's get to putting these magma cannons to work. We got plenty of magma to draw from as well, so we should have plenty of extra ammunition. We're just going to send some of the orcs on down to grab a couple of buckets of that. Still, the Hashut, where the Droths are underway, looks fantastic. You got your magma, you got your kind of industrial bits and bobs. Alright, let's get to breaking this army here. So we do have a little bit of artillery disadvantages in range. I'm going to have this Red Rust kind of sit off to the side. Give it a target of one of those Goblin Rock Labas right away and watch it kind of wreak havoc. We do want our magma cannons in. I don't know that we're actually going to be able to worry about them to help out with the enemy artillery, so we're going to have them kind of back in their own squad. We'll have blunderbusses in the center. Pull the whole squad back just a bit more. Magma cannon, blunderbusses, and then what we'll do is we'll have the infernal ankle biters defending this flank. Other shield dawi here, and then the axes of Uskalok just as even further reinforcements. We're going to try to make sure Astragoth and Kevin are up, harassing the artillery. Them, the Red Rust, and our Red Bull here should be very, very useful in that endeavor. Alright, so besides, we'll go ahead and have the good old laborers up front on either side here. Two on either end. Leave the shotguns kind of having a false center there. Shield Centaur renders up front, and I will bring the dual weapon ones with our hero core here. Need some good damage. Won't be able to micro absolutely everyone though, so we'll go ahead and keep the Wolf Boys back with the squad to be just kind of your normal ranged unit for now. So let's get all the main characters together. The infantry our missiles, and then our cav. Perfect stuff. Let it begin. We're gonna leave our own squad back for the most part. You can fly on forward unless we get a good shot right off the bat. Just down in the middle of those poor goblins there. Let's go ahead and blast the rock llamas though. Give you the speed and the blood. And we'll just have the three of you advance. That was a much better hit than I thought it was. Maybe there's kind of a small vortex effect. Ooh, a bit of a miss there. Artillery is quite a bit less, I guess 20 less range does feel like quite a bit more. Let's go ahead and advance the magma cannons a bit, and we can have them retreat, or everyone else just advance past them. We're gonna have them up front blasting while everyone else kind of moves up and around. There we go. I mean, they're firing, but a lot of those are misses. Most of the artillery going after the Red Bull, too. And you have all of the trolls up front to stop us from getting in with the Astragoth and company, but we can kind of run right on up and throw one of these Burning Wraths directly in. So that should work pretty well. Everyone else is going to have a little bit harder time getting on into the enemy lines there. Let's get you a little bit closer so we have more accuracy. We wanted to get to about this position to get kind of maximum accuracy up and running. Alright, so go ahead and blast a few more in there. Grimgor is defending the Kadai from our Kadai summons. Well, it looks like it was a complete whiff with the Burning Wrath. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a better shot there. Doing a really good job dodging our artillery. Alright, secondary squad is in. Oh, that one was pretty much a direct hit. Glorious. Well, Kevin, let's go ahead and crack into these snarling pump wagons. Throw another Burning Wrath and go ahead and run on in. They all gonna try to stop Kevin. Intriguing. Alright, Red Bull up front. We'll have you kind of come on back just a little bit because Grimgor will annihilate you in a straight up fight. And we'll just double layer up our laborers here. I'll put the Goblin Boys in the very front, because they can actually fire kind of through them. 3 archers on this side, they'll fire over the top of them, but it'll also be through them as well, which is fantastic. I mean, they're clobbering this group. But pull away before Grimgor decides to come on after you. Red Bull, rush down this group. You do have one more set of rock llamas coming on in, so maybe we want to wait till they're all kind of together before summoning the Red Bull. Another whiff there. Not getting good hits. Pull you two on away. Looks like Grimgor is moving to kind of intercept. Fortunately, another whiff there. Pull you one back, but keep staying on the outskirts. Oh, the Shaman blasting his now. Shouldn't be too much magic there for him. Would give these Snotling Pump Wagons another good charge. I actually think we will summon the Kadai in here. Alright, you lot, come on behind the line. Goblin Cutthroats. Take the sides. The ultimate flanks, and then we'll have the Sneaky Boys do the same. Alright, well it's just a bunch of normal units in the pump wagons trying to stop Astragoth. Still got 3 of those rock llamas. We might want to switch there while it's still got some shots over to the stone trolls. I realized I gave the Kadai an attack order, didn't give them an attack order at all. They did do their work though. Come on back. And that's some amazing hits there. Unless that's also coming on in from the magma cannons as well.
fly straight on in, drop the Spirit Leech on this Black Orc Big Boss, and start firing your cannon here. Alright, the Kadai are no more. The Red Bull's not having the best time there either. Alright, Kevin, let's go ahead and keep circling back. Bring you kind of back to our front line here, which is going to be horrendously powerful.
Now we can actually kind of sneak Astragoth back through and try to take down some of the enemy artillery. Red Bull's getting messed up just a little bit. Our Taruk needs to kind of fall back mission as well here. Get back into the line, let them kind of take some free damage, and then we'll advance you. Magma Cannon's back. Probably a little bit too late. I'm appreciating the one last shot. Send these guys in this direction. Those archers are doing pretty good work, so we'll go ahead and actually send you through now after these rock lavas. Astragoth bogged down in a lot of nonsense. We'll go ahead and slow everything here, weaken it to fire. Come on, Magma Cannon's gonna get back behind our shotguns. We're doing some really good work now. Slow motion action shots. We'll drop down the Armor of Contempt up front. Go ahead and charge some of these laborers on in now. Heroic catches them here. Sneaky gets move in. Don't like giving orders on slow-mo though, so we'll mostly just keep coming down and watching the combat. No reason to advance the Drothzar warriors. Not until we lose a few more laborers, that is. Astragoth, go ahead and give them a charge. They've got a couple units back here trying to fight our lord here, but we can just drop down the Spear Leech. Here, take it off a slow-mo because that feels super cheesy. Try to get them working on these archers now instead. Each of you hit a different archer squad. Thank you kindly. Alright, we'll just send you in. Oh, it's still in slow-mo. What's going on here? Break that line. We'll have you roll with them. Grimgore is facing down our Renders. Still in a fight they want, so let's go ahead and pull them through and have them go after some of these archers. What the Sneaky gets. Keep Grimgore occupied for a moment. Gorda, as you go after the Night Goblins. In fact, summon in some Hobgoblin Cutthroats on your way through. Burning Hatred. Dagger of Malice for yourself. Let's go ahead and weaken this general a bit. So the Sneaky gets after him, and then the Laborers can hit the other group. Ortiz charges on in. Go ahead and have him roll his dice. Beautiful, beautiful. Red Bull not having the best time back here fighting as the Pump Wagons have come after him. Another Spear Leech. Yeah, let's go ahead and get you back up in the air. Not having the best time. We go ahead and send the Taruk. Oh, I didn't get the nuke drop. I mean, our formation here was pretty glorious. Let's bring the nuke on over the top here. We can try to drop it on. Even if we don't manage to hit. I love just sending the Pump Wagons after him. I guess we have to Spear Leech the Pump Wagons, which is a bit lame. Astragoth, are you busy? Not really. Let's go ahead and waddle on over and clap this mage here. I want to get my bull centaurs out of there. Archers are out of things to fire upon. And the shotguns are getting hit by the catapults that are left. That's very, very cheeky. You move in and fire on those catapults as well. I appreciate the cheekiness. Yeah, fly over the top. Let's go ahead and give them a little bit of a Dreadquake love tap. Oh, they run for the hills just in time. We'll still drop one, just for good measure. You're going nowhere, fools. We're going to go ahead and follow them around and keep dropping Dreadquakes. So let's go ahead and hit this unit over here. Beautiful. That's another squad of Grimgors dealt with. Once again, you just leave Grimgor alone, let him fight some units you don't care about, like these laborers here, and you proceed to dropkick his army. Alright, decisive victory claimed. The magma cannons put in a little bit of work there, but mostly going to our bulls and centaurs as the enemy runs for the hills. Not too bad by the Hobgoblin Seeky Gits either. I really like these guys as a kind of alternative to the Nobblar Trappers. They fight quite a bit better and have poison attacks. I think makes them a little bit better than your Nobblar Trappers. We'll go ahead and... Ooh, that's a lot of labor. Welcome to the mines. Grimgor keeps delivering us all these greenskins for our mines like a good boy. He remembers his conditioning. Alright, rats in the tunnel. The Skaven. They do have one unit of rattling guns, which are going to be outranging our blunderbusses by quite a margin, but that's the only real range units they have. Night Runners can be concerning if they get around behind your units and throwing those knives behind your dwarf shields, but we do have a good bit of armor, so we're going to go ahead and take the shortcut, fight these Skaven. This route is endless. Our beleaguered convoy has been traveling for what seems like forever with no end in sight. Surely a detour through subterranean tunnels will get our goods to their destination sooner. The pernicious Skaven, however, may have something to say about it. We don't build your tunnels and our train tracks, fools. Even if we tend to kind of lay track as we go, which is just proper. I do wish all of the convoys kind of had at least one Doom engine with them to kind of show off that it was a convoy that just breaks off the front and drives on over to reap some skulls. Absolutely worth it. Oh, we get ambushed. It's no longer worth it. Well then. Our blunderbusses are going to be in for a bad time. I always forget that the Battle of the Skaven has an opportunity to be just an ambush. Well, let's see if we can handle it. Alright, out in the desert. The good news is that a lot of our big beasties should be able to charge straight into the rattling guns. We're just going to have to deal with that initial damage. Come on, Skaven. If that's a Ruin Priest, we're going to lose lots of Dawizar here. They're going to have a bad... Look at that. That is a convoy I would not mess with. This thing just slowly walking. In fact, where are they? Oh, Skaven. Love the burnt orange. Is that a color for all of the... I'm thinking it must be for all of the convoys. Oh, it's time. They're gonna go ahead and deploy in the corner like a proper battle force. Alright, fair enough. Shotguns. Pull back here. We'll have one unit of warriors here, the other unit just kind of behind them as a secondary defense force. Let's go. Man-eaters on the other side. Jedi Fireborn over here. You two are on anti-rattling gun duty. Just go get them. Big Charybdis and Big Kadai. Time to feast. Oh no. Warp Lightning. Dodge. I saw that last second. Oh, we still take a ton of damage. I love Warp Lightning. It wasn't maximum sarcasm, I swear. Alright, Kadai Fireborn. Up here. As soon as they do, we are going to Armor of Contempt. They're going to go straight through that line of Skaven. And if they don't, I'm going to be quite angry at them. It's a lot more damage than they probably should have taken off the initial, but we'll charge them right into those Rattling Guns, get the Armor of Contempt up for the initial charges here. We've already gotten distracted. I mean, granted, there's a lot of Skaven over here. Oh, well done, Kadai. That worked out beautifully. Secondary Kadai, go! And I'm already tired of the Warp Lightning. Oh, we dodged that one just barely. Ready to get him? We'll get some slow-mo shots of the battle here. Love the Kadai Fireborn. They're very similar to your Shabdi, just with even better animations where they'll kind of belch out. You've seen a couple times there, they'll belch out a fireball. It'll actually hit a little area of effect. Kind of explodes several rats all at the same time. So fantastic. Your Kadai Destroyer, which has not been doing its job, but it's all good. It is ripping through lines of Skaven here. I don't think you would have enough Skaven to stop a Kadai unless they brought plenty of artillery. Because in lore, they're even smaller than this, so they would be probably even finger length sized the Kadai. Bad time to be a Skaven. Listen, I was getting cinematic shots, and you decided to keep dropping lightning on my my shotguns. Stop him. Absolute menace. Go ahead, and it's Skaven season. Just gonna watch out for any more surprise circles that appear. Turn back around, get that terror in. There's another lightning shot. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get away from that one. He's all in on taking out our blunderbusses. Rude. Well, there's the terror. That kicks on in now. And all of our mercenaries putting in some good work. Oh, the Night Riders are brave enough to try for a charge on our Ogre Man-Eaters. Not on your lives. Now these warriors are a little bit surrounded by Skaven. Let's go ahead and bring them some help. We're absolutely going to make sure that their lord doesn't come back. The blunderbusses can kind of step up and annihilate the groups coming on in. Where am I Kadai at? All the way over here. He got caught up in the cinema up a little bit. That's another unit of Skaven running for the hills. We kind of follow them around. It's just a terror fest now. We'll have the Man-Eaters hunt them off. We'll keep these warriors safe because they're getting surrounded by multiple Skaven crews, and that is that. I mean, they did get the ambush. It was pretty much their only hope. Give them another thunderclap. I'm not going to catch all of them, though. Man-Eater, if you can go just round up clan rats instead, that'd be glorious. They seem to be outpacing you, though. They're starting to get a bit tired. Plus, these rats are real bony and stringy. Not good battle snacks. Alright, Skaven ambush held off, even if it wasn't probably less than ambush and more us actually tunneling into one of their little Skaven-y hovels. We will be transporting all the ones we captured, though, right on back to Zaru's School. Zornu's School. Oh no, Zatan has claimed himself a seat. It's cruelty. Yes. So cruel. Now he gets to sit on himself a chair. Alright, a scroll of power gain from our battles there. Those are not the most exciting, but they will work. Kevin, let's go ahead and see what's going on over here. Dusty and Squad are pushing into the mountains. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be hilarious if Gorfang over here is going to end up becoming... Is this meant to be Gorfang Rotgut? His model here? Interesting. This is where he ends up picking up where Dusty's faction is. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. That would have two legendary Lord Orcs right on the borders of the Darklands, though, which would be quite the population control for the Drothzar. I think the rest of our income this turn is going to be spent on securing more gold. We've got them bogged in here at Titan's Notch, Muzrub Ran. So we can use Astragoth, crack down on the Titan's Notch, or better yet, we could send him through in the underways. I think he could still be reinforcements if we put him just close enough, so we'll put him right here. We'll come on in and keep working towards the Hellhammer, that way we can actually make the Dark Sacrifice worth it. Otherwise, we're sacrificing a whole bunch of servants for no reward. Spirit Leech is all we're really using you for now, so let's go ahead and continue down the blue line so we can get that upkeep reduction. 10% is pretty hefty. Server die, alert, or lightning strike. I'm thinking lightning strike. Then we start fighting the Skaven, we're not really going to need alert. Faded Lucky Sneakies gives us the Vanguard and stock for all goblins. Let's instead go ahead and just finish off his passives, and then we'll start working on the more elite, those more elite skills. Having the Convoy Overseer, we're gonna definitely need you, or Dipty. Convoy Overseer. Yeah, let's drop that chance of ambushes by 50%. We really don't like those. Especially if we're gonna be moving through and taking attrition the whole time. Alright, Bruce, let's go ahead and clap down on the Titan's Notch. Enjoy Doom. Quick auto-resolve, we lose just about nothing. We will go ahead and sack the Titan's Notch for a hefty influx of new labor. Then we'll turn around and claim it. Looks like it has probably just another outpost for us. Indeed. We need more raw materials. Exactly. They're here. We'll go ahead and pop in garrison outpost. Keep things held while we leave. Get a little bit of a better foothold in here. We'll also accept new labor. We'll accept more labor. Oh, we already are. Excellent. 950 for more gold. We're about to have a really nice influx to our income with the diamond mines. Right, get on up here and join Astragoth. Grimgor has fled back to Blood Peak. There is a very high likelihood that he is going to turn and try to just build up as much WA energy as possible, which would be a pretty decent strategy for dealing with an overwhelming force like we have here. Rush construction, what would this really get for us? We'd have the ability to upgrade the Dromrill tip drill assembly line, which is going to then more than double our raw materials. And more than double our armaments too, just for double the workload. I think we can probably go for that, no problem. I don't really think we need to generate... Well, generating a little bit more armaments would allow us to get immediately in more... the upgrades to the renders and more renders faster. Our economy is starting to be able to catch up. Let's go ahead and rush construction here. Yep. We could also get the Ancient Inner City, dropping how much those Bull Sindar renders are going to be. Or we could come in and grab the high-quality assembly line. Kislev will start pushing back the forces of darkness, and we will have to keep that in mind. Katerin is no slouch, especially with her new battle sled. We need 1,275 raw materials for the high-quality assembly line, which will be granting us a chunky bit of armaments, 250 plus 15% more later on down the line. 50 gold, or just the Thane Guard to make sure we don't lose our capital. Does the Thane Guard grant us any better defenses later on? No, that's just the tower itself. Interesting. 2 more Chorf Warriors, 2 more Hobgoblin Archers. We'll leave this for now. I think I want the high-quality assembly line. Or saving for the Inner City. Either one. Okay, so 2,100 for the treasure trove here at Lizard Peak. Get another mine up and running. 200 more raw materials. I think we will. So a mine at Blizzard Peak. Frag frag, we could spend some on the Tribute Shrine. It's going to be increasing it by an additional 100. That's alright. Have an all beefy champion. Have no more. We could combine up the Scroll of Power loans we have here. Get a Sword of Strife. It's not too bad. Yep, you're kind of out of luck for now in terms of talismans, though. I mean, sorry, enchanted items. You've got a good talisman for a potion of speed, which I guess is something. Fertile musician for extra leadership for this whole army. Scales of spell resistance. That's missile. We'll go for more speed. 81 total is pretty good for a big beefy boy like this. He schmoves across the ground. Alright, well I think Grimgor, we're going to see him going to try to sneak around. AI, once they realize that they're beaten, they do start acting quite sneaky. Pretty fast. Let's come on into our labor economy here. We've got enough that we could probably send some guys back to Zarnagrund. But let's go for the gold this time. In all three. We're going to boost our economy through the roof and try to grab the ore level. Treasure trove, or we can just kind of keep boosting that up to try to get in our inner city here next turn. I think is what we're going to do. All the Bull Centaur Taruks. We'll keep beating the gold out of Grimgor's faction here. Alright, sweet. So we'll skip through all the notifications we've got still. I will check diplomacy, though. Clark Haran. No, we're going to be taking your things. No offense. It's just that we're better than you. Really. Alright, well, we're going to go it on loan for now. Let's, before we end the turn, get ourselves a Castellan at Blizzard Peak. I think a single Castellan added to Astragoth's army, so we'll have 2 Turduks, 1 Castellan. Sounds perfect. So unethical, materialistic, or resentful. I like the materialistic one. Upkeep reduction for Infernal Guard will be good for late game, but for this early time here, let's go ahead and grab the extra raw materials. Even if we're not necessarily in friendly territory all that often. Alright, glorious. They look fantastic. One of my favorites of the Dawizar heroes. The other ones I'm not the biggest fan of are the small hero level casters. They're just fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just my least favorite of the 3. Alright, sweet. So we'll swoop on back down to the Backbreaker. And I will also choose to upgrade the Tribute Shrine here. And then we'll end the turn. Right, we need to raise or sack Blood Peak. Don't you worry, we're on it. I don't know how Grimgor built up an army this quickly, but here he is. And now we've got the mission for upgrading a settlement to tier 5, which for us will gain the Demon Flask of a Shock, Gambler's Armor, and a Sword of Anti-Heroes. Such things would cost a small fortune in overtime, if indeed the Dawizar were paying their laborers instead of exploiting them with maces. Oh, menaces. Maces or menaces, either one. Extra raw materials output, and then more income from scavenger buildings. We've got several of those up, so that's 50 per. That's pretty nice. Convoy's done, gives us 542 more coal for the fires. And I think I want to lure him into another underway fight. We're making him angry. Over here, looks like Blackfang just got wiped out by Crusher, so we do have to worry about the top knots forming up a Wa too. And now's the time they would start up a Wa, isn't it? But go ahead and pop in the high quality assembly line. Our gem manufactory is starting to get up and running now, so we've got 862 income coming in from that. That's very nice. And we could hit Yeti Peak. We would just be stuck there. Oh, he could too. Hang on now. You do have a single artillery piece. But I think Bruce and Gordos can handle themselves now. Especially since we have got Get the Get, so we can summon in 3 units of Hobgoblin Cutthroats. They do degrade over time, but I think that's perfectly acceptable. Stick 'em gives them more melee attack, and Get 'em just gives them more speed and charge bonus. Up to a hefty amount. Let's go ahead and just grab Stick 'em. 3 more attack, 10% more strength. Oh yeah, these are turning into some proper soldiers. So Bruce, you're in charge of dealing with Yeti Peak. Oh wow, that's a pretty cracking force, isn't it? I think we would need at least a single artillery piece to feel good there. Grab the blazing beards. You know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll start playing a little bit more clever. I don't need to be all aggression all the time. So Bruce, you pull out, go into an ambush. But instead of being right next to our settlement like a coward, we'll walk over here. Meanwhile, Astragoth is going to underways directly to the Titan's Notch, edge of our territory, so we're still replenishing. We'll have our little Sindar keep following him around. Bruce, I actually think you do deserve an ROR unit, at least one. We'll get rid of these new laborers here. The Immortals. Which is what Grimgore's Immortals are actually modeled off of, or also named after. Both. Having just one really strong melee infantry is great, but I would prefer to have some artillery. Which is not going to happen anytime soon, looks like, so... I'm thinking in terms of artillery, having the Granite Guard for a very high caliber, or at least a higher range version of the blunderbusses sounds good to me. They can dig in, it gives them, I think, what, 10% more range? 40% more range, which is much better than 10%. Welcome, Guard. G800 to upgrade the Overseer's camp. Nope, we are not going to. I want to save for what I said I was saving for. How much more labor can I expend here? Honestly, probably not much. We will bring in new labor at the Ancient Giant Lands. We're trying to get more at the Ice Spewer, so there's going to be one more set of shifts. We need 300 workload for that. We should have. We just don't want to pull any more labor out of the Path to the East, which is no problem. Everywhere else, I think, since sacrifices back to Zardagrund, we'll send just 100 of these. No, we're not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. We will come into our technology though, and find something new. Ruinous Negotiations gives us even more diplomatic relations with the Warriors, Beastmen, and Norskins. Like to upgrade our military. Living Metal is going to cost us 500 armaments. Useless March is 5% more movement. Oh, do like the extra movement. In the meantime, let's go ahead and upgrade our Dawizar warriors, or our Drossar warriors, with extra melee defensive leadership onto hollow rounds. Varied training, just make our normal warriors as strong as we can, kind of like our laborers. That's what most of our garrisons going to be filled with, so if we boost them up, they can just boost those garrisons up too. Alright, well done, Dipty. We'll go ahead and give you the hidden stores. Buff up your survivability on the field. We can't increase how much cargo capacity, or at least how much cargo he's bringing with him, unless we get a very specific event, so not worth doing that. I think we kind of stick with what we've got now. 940 raw materials coming in is pretty good. It should allow us to get Uskulak upgraded in a couple turns. Kolg the Wagyu Axe looks like Gorfang is kind of hanging out. How many wars are you still involved in? Oh, he's fighting Imrik now, that's perfect. To draw Imrik up this way now, but... we bring him around, have him join up. Moglisar, come on down here towards Astragoth. Exactly. Building upgrades available, we'll go ahead and ignore all of those. Envoy dispatch, right, that is indeed true. So we'll grab Butterus. These names are gonna trip me up 100 times. Add him on in. Where can we really send you? We don't have much in terms of armament, so it's gonna be a gold rush again. So gold for labor, gold for raw materials. I think it's always gonna be gold for raw materials. Also, I'm gonna have to remove gray. Sorry, you're cutting off the circulation of my leg. You're having a great nap, I'm sure, but you're heavier than you think you are. Alright. I mean, oh, you're very lucky. The Wizard Caliph's Palace is always so good for gaining some goodies. Well, I think if anything, we'll just... Oh, Greases is still alive. I'm impressed. Want to send gold out and gain raw materials. This looks like to be... Trollfjord looks to be the best way. Send out the max amount. 1,200 and dispatch them on away. Gain me some more raw materials. Alright, perfect stuff. That'll be the turn. Alright, so now that we have split up, they're going to come on over after us. In the underway? In the underway indeed. So this time we don't have our reinforcements, and it looks like it's an identical force to last time. Alright, well, I think we can handle it. We just need to scare off Grimgor's reinforcements, so this time he is bringing with him a Night Goblin Shaman with no good spells except for Sneaky Stabbing. Alright, well, we will begin the next episode, much with a battle kind of similar to our mid one here in this one. Grimgor once again versus Angry Santa. Thank you all so much for stopping by today's Astragoth Ironhand campaign. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like for the Light God and a sub for the Subthron. See you on the next one.